60 years ago, something very special started. Today it endures as a very special place for Edwin, Christina, and Pat. It's called Fellowship Place. It did not seek fame. It sought only the people it could serve. Its mission? To serve adults with mental illness by offering a rich array of therapeutic support. Its doors are open 365 days a year, offering a safe and secure environment that honors the dignity of every person.
I sensed, perhaps, what was needed. And they responded. They had mostly people wandering around the streets. We didn't have Fellowship Place then, of course. So just this one night a week was their time and given their dignity.
Fellowship helped me a lot. It helped me more with my social skills, having friends, and it actually helped me. I just participated in an internship in the kitchen, and today was my last day.
Fellowship helped me to see the other side of me. They gave me an opportunity to get into community. They offered me a program for 6 months, and they paid me for 3 months, and they gave me a certificate.
The Fellowship Place story is really pretty remarkable. Back in the 1960s, when Phyllis McDowell and the other volunteers involved in the agency's early days began to work on creating a drop-in social program for people with mental illness. At that time, very few people talked about mental illness. There was a lot of stigma attached to mental illness, and it was just really remarkable that Phyllis and people at the Mental Health Association and the Jewish Community Center chose to come together to provide services for this very needy client population.
The Fellowship Inn provides outreach to those living in local homeless shelters. The campus has ample room for housing.
I must say that it's the finest people at Fellowship Place that has kept me from becoming a homeless person again. I have my life here. I have my friends and my sweetheart. I have a little boyfriend.
How did you find out about Fellowship Place?
I found out through other people who were struggling also on the streets, and finding this place that was helpful instead of being just wandering about on the streets. They had this place. So I came about it and saw what they had to offer me to help me out.
Fellowship's pre-vocational and vocational services help people with chronic mental illness develop the skills and confidence they need to find and keep a job.
So I'm the Director of Career Services here at Fellowship Place. I've been here for 20 years. I oversee a program that helps individuals with mental illness go back to work or school, and it's very challenging and very rewarding work. So we help people write their resumes and practice interviewing, do mock interviews, and get resume clothes and bus passes, or go back to school for post-secondary. Many individuals become diagnosed with mental illness. It happens in young adulthood, and they have their careers derailed, and so we're helping people get back on track.
I first came into being with Fellowship Place as an employer. We were opening up a new store in the area, and I was told that Fellowship Place had people with disabilities, mental illness, and my company always hired people with disabilities. So I came down and I spoke to Mary, the director, and told her that we had 5 slots, and did she have people that could fill those slots. So they have a career development program here, and she quickly matched 5 of the members here with the jobs that we had at Stop and Shop. And that's how I became involved with Fellowship Place.
So I've been involved with Fellowship since 1974. I was an evening program coordinator at Connecticut Mental Health Center in 1974, and it was my responsibility to schedule activities for clients in the evenings. So I found out about Fellowship Place. At that time, they met at the Jewish Community Center on Monday nights, and I started every Monday taking a group of clients a week or so prior to discharge to get them familiar with this psychosocial program. It was actually a dance program that Phyllis McDowell started at the Jewish Community Center. And the value of Fellowship is it allows people with seriously and persistent mental illness to be engaged in a non-clinical setting as a member of a social group.
Many, many years ago, I started off at Fellowship through friendship with Phyllis McDowell. I quickly came to be on the board and then in board leadership. At that time, Fellowship was a social club. It was did not resemble the broad array of programming that is here today.
So I appreciate the range of non-clinical services that Fellowship offers, and we know many of these services are so critical to helping a person move into long-term recovery. They also help to create a sense of community because people are able to connect with individuals over time as they participate in these programs. So things like their art programs and services, and people are able to actually sell their artwork and have their artwork be part of shows in the community, and that we know that that's important. There are also drumming groups that are available for people to participate in. There's a GED program where a person can get their GED and further advance their education. So some of those non-clinical services are really important to a person's overall treatment plan and recovery process.
Fellowship Place offers 850 individuals a year, an eclectic group of programs that emphasize wellness, creative expression, giving back to the community, and the importance of social relationships.
In college, I had a psychotic break, so my father felt maybe tennis center would be a good place to meet people, enjoy tennis, and get indoors and get some exercise. So I met Phyllis there and her friend from the Lawn Club, and she told me about Fellowship Place on Chapel Street. So I started to go down there. I had a car, so I was able to get down to New Haven. So I used to go to the Monday night social program at Fellowship in the JCC on Chapel Street.
You know, for me, it's so much fun to go back to Fellowship and see how different it is, how many activities are going on, and the food is wonderful.
So Fellowship Place is really the centerpiece or hub for our service system here in New Haven and in the greater New Haven area for people with serious mental health challenges. The broad array of their services is really astounding. Not only are they a nationally recognized clubhouse where they provide support socialization services, but they also provide supported employment, supported education, supported permanent housing, broad array of services to the homeless, and also for individuals involved in the criminal justice system. And they do this 365 days a year with an incredible staff, and the quality of care is just unparalleled.
A lot of people who suffer every day with mental illness are socially isolated. They don't have a lot of friends. They may not be involved with a church group or other natural supports in the community, and very often they are disconnected from their families. So what Fellowship provides for these folks is a caring community where they get to interact with each other and learn from each other that they're not alone, that there are other people struggling with the same kinds of challenges that they're struggling from. And once people feel less isolated and connected to peers, it becomes a lot easier for them to think about getting a job, going back to school, maintaining their own apartment.
Yeah, so I do a lot. Play cards, play pool, meet new friends, you know. I love it here.
As Phyllis reflects on her career as a mental health advocate, she says that what made Fellowship Club and then Fellowship Place welcoming and beneficial to its members was a simple rule, a rule that doesn't come from a complicated psychology manual.
And so when you walk into Fellowship Place and you go by the offices, there's a painting hanging on the wall. It's done by one of the members. And it's buildings together with the names of the different departments. And it's a bunch of people holding hands across a bridge. And the painting simply says that Fellowship Place is a community where young and old, all levels of education and races, religious backgrounds, are welcomed here and could grow and prosper through love and trust of each other. I probably can't say any better what Fellowship Place is.
Fellowship Place is proud to celebrate its work and the people who did that work as they prepare for the next 60 years. Any donations will be deeply appreciated to support that mission and ensure its success well into the future. Thank you.